Alright, so, I'm going to be talking about some news that I haven't really, touched on, and I don't know why, mostly because there's literally nothing to really go on it, but I was like, fuck it, I will finally give my thoughts on it, because now it made a major shift. And I think one of the reasons why I didn't want to talk about it was because I wasn't going to be able to see it, because I had lost I recently had to give up the streaming site because Jesus Christ, these streaming sites are getting out of control. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about the new Alien film that will not be on Hulu, but instead will be on the big screen. That's right, Alien is finally coming back to the big screen as of August of 2024. I'm very excited. If you're wondering, yes, this is the Alien movie that was called, and I think it's still going by the title, Alien Romulus. And will be directed by Fede Alvarez. Now, a couple things. First off, just non sequitur. I want my goddamn Blu-ray for Prey. Come on, Disney, don't be a dick. I really, it bothers me to no end that is not getting a DVD or Blu-ray release. Meanwhile, Shudder's out here giving out its movies. It was like, oh, you couldn't watch Shudder? Or you don't have it? Here, have our movie that everyone has raved about. Here, here's another. Here. No, it's okay. Here, take this. Netflix is even more than willing to give out DVD Blu-rays of their shows and movies sometimes, especially their animated shows. But meanwhile, the mouse is like, oh, you have to get the streaming site, bitch. Oh. So I'm just mad about that because I love that movie, man. I want that as a full ass Blu-ray or DVD Blu-ray in my collection. Okay, I want that on the DVD collection back there. Thumb not pointing. Yeah, right there. I want it over there in that collection. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about the real issue here. Not so much issue, but more like I know some people just heard the words Fede Alvarez and immediately cringed because of how bad the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie was. Now, I am not gonna be outright like, holy shit, that's really bad. I don't like the idea of Fede Alvarez being a part of that. I don't think, because he was the producer, he wasn't the director. Could he have stopped this train wreck we got? Maybe. But yeah, Fede Alvarez was also directed the Evil Dead remake, which I think is really good. And it's not really a remake anymore. It's in continuity, thanks to Evil Dead Rise. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't think that's... Am I nervous? Yes. Am I more optimistic than those people? Yes. But he is not producing, he's directing, so that's fine. So I'm more open to that. Am I still a little nervous? Yes. But, hopefully it can't be as bad as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie on Netflix, right? Right? Can't be that bad. But anyway. Let's talk about the positives. I mean, we don't know a lot about this movie other than this supposedly, the rumor is that it takes place between the 57-year gap between Alien and Aliens, which I feel like we should get more movies like that, right? There's a fucking over half century of stuff in there you could put to really play with the stuff while Ripley was just floating out in space. You could do a fucking movie with Amanda and just do it as a sequel, a live-action movie sequel to Alien Isolation. It's not that fucking hard. But the other major thing is that all we know is that this movie will be R-rated, and this movie will also be a standalone film. This won't be it will be in continuity with, we don't know what continuity this will be in. It's all been the same continuity, so it's not a reboot. A lot of people were making the rumor that it was a reboot, and it's confirmed no, it's just a standalone movie in the continuity of this, which I wish more movies would do, which I really do wish. I mean, you could do sequels, but make it so it's its own film, it's its own story. I feel like the only ones that have really done that have been really you could make the argument Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise are like standalone, like, hey, these are stories in those films, and we're going on an adventure in this continuity. And yes, that's spin-off, but like Spiral from the Saw movies, that was like one, and I feel like you could make the argument the Creed movies too, but you could also make the argument those are requel movies too. But yeah, I do like the idea that this is not gonna follow the god-awful Prometheus and Alien Covenant continuity, because really the only people who knew what the fuck they were doing with that shit was Dark Horse Comics. Seriously, I can't get over how good Alien Fire and Stone was. That is one of it. It perfectly encapsulates how good the idea of Prometheus could have been if Sam Raimi just didn't like open his butt cheeks up and squish out that diarrhea we had for 2 movies. Just like it was just old man diarrhea all over the film. Like, it's so bad it's running down his leg, and he's just like he's like, no one's gonna tell him because they're all polite, but the smell is god awful. It makes you want to just walk out into traffic. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, off that tangent. This is a neat idea. Am I worried? I'm not worried because of Disney. Because, like, a lot of people are like, oh, Prey is going to be such a bad movie because it's a female lead cast. And then I watched recently a review of someone who said that shit of like, oh, Prey is some woke garbage because it's a female lead and it's a Predator movie. And then they immediately backtracked, like they were trying to backtrack everything in their review for it. It was like, well, what I meant was, it was this whole thing of like, what I meant was like, So it will be a younger cast. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's like, I don't think they'll all be like young adults. Although we could do with some more kid killing in Alien films. I'm just saying. But I do like this movie. I do like the idea of this movie. And I really do like the rumor, and I really hope this is true, that not only is it's set between Alien and Aliens, but also it's the same xenomorph that Ripley shot into space. Remember, that thing didn't die. And if you know your Alien extended lore, then you know shooting off a xenomorph into space ain't gonna fucking do shit. It's just gonna float around in space and just be like, well, just gonna wait for another ship to show up, and then I'm gonna latch on to that. So I hope that's true, that it's the same xenomorph from the first movie. Because really, I think we've done enough with hives and whatnot and trying to make the xenomorph different. I think it's just time to do a film with just one alien, because Alien Isolation showed us you can just do one alien and make it fucking scary. So, yeah, I'm just fine. Even if it's not the same xenomorph from Alien, I'd be fine with just, hey, it's just one alien on the ship. That's enough because if the first movie was anything to go off of, one of those motherfuckers is scary enough. So, yeah. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of all this? Like, what are your thoughts? Are you guys excited that it's coming to the big screen? Because test audiences were so positive on it. Are you worried about Fede Alvarez directing it after? And again, he didn't direct the Texas Chainsaw movie, just produced it. But are you worried about that, or are you excited for it? And are you hoping this movie is like a Alien film in the 50-year gap? Anyway, so just look at it. Like, I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.